Good evening, people. It is Wednesday night, I believe, on this place we call planet Earth, or what we know, or what we used to know anyways. I'm here with Jack from the Talking Tears. We're going to shoot the shit, find all about what's going on. What's going on, Jack?
Oh, not too much. I've been making a lot of music lately.
That's that, is that pandemic life, or were you always just busy making music before the pandemic?
I started making music when I was 4 years old, actually.
Right.
And my songs back then were about dinosaurs from outer space with laser guns.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed, but I kind of remember them.
You should re-record them now.
I've thought about that, honestly.
Fucking shit. That'd be great.
I think it's funny. But yeah, I think when I was 20, like I wasn't really musically inclined, but one of my friends was, and then he died pretty tragically, and like we were like best friends for 11 years. So when he died, I think anyone who's been through that knows, like, you kind of take on some of the person who's passed, you take on some of their traits.
Yeah.
So I found myself picking up his guitar and just trying to remember what it looked like when he would play it. And so for me, music became a sort of like a therapeutic tool to help me, deal with trauma. And I think, I used it for years, but I think in March of last year when the lockdown for the pandemic started, that just it was kind of like throwing gasoline on the creative fire for me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stop writing songs. So here we are.
Here we are. That's fucking deadly, though. Like I was saying, I love independent musicians that don't give a shit about, they're not afraid to take risks. You know what I mean? You can sit there, you can hammer out these 6-minute long songs, whatever you want to do. And it's cool. It's cool as hell to me. Guys like you, No Commercial Potential is a fucking monster. And just, guys like that, I think, are fantastic. So thank you for being here tonight. I'm happy to talk to you about this. So the Talking Tears, is that name kind of related to the trauma you went through or still go through?
That's a good question. One thing I like to do is I like to tell people a different story every time, just for fun.
Well, let's try this story. Yeah, whichever one you want.
Right. I see you have, the poster of the Joker there. And I love that movie. And that was one of the things that I liked, how he kept changing his origin story. But honestly, I was high out of my mind. I was just really high, and I was listening to the Talking Heads.
Okay.
And I had this really profound moment where I was listening to their big song, "Once in a Lifetime," and like the universe just made sense to me for that one moment, and everything was really beautiful, and like I was noticing like the sunlight and everything was just wonderful. And I was like, it's really cool when music can do that, when it can make a connection with people. And I wanted to, the reason I made the band name The Talking Tears was to remind me of that.
Oh, okay.
So when I make music, I want to always strive towards that feeling.
Okay, hey, that's cool. That's a good story. I like that. What were you high on? Was it mushrooms? That sounds like a mushrooms high to me. Maybe acid. Pot is kind of more like, whoa, that's really, you're really in tune with things. It sounds like you're totally in tune with the Talking Heads. That's mushrooms. That's what
I'm going to plead the fifth. Honestly.
Smart. Good call.
I am a fan of things green, but yeah. I think most people are, if we're being honest.
No, fair enough. Exactly. What state are you in again?
I am in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right. And pot's not legal there yet, is it?
That's what they say, yeah.
Well, they say it's not legal, I just get over it. Who gives a shit anymore in this day and age?
I think for me it was really big when I was younger. Now I'm, Tylenol's my thing. But
Tylenol's the go-to. Yeah, when I want to get that buzz.
yeah, but I think I'm pretty sure it's legal in like every state surrounding Wisconsin. So I think, the younger people who do want to do that kind of thing, they just drive a few miles and get it. So
they're good to go. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Tylenol. I like that. So you sent me 3 songs. No, I'm playing with the email, so I'm not wrong. There's 3 or 4. Come on.
It's 4.
4. Thank you. Goddamn thing. 4 songs. I want to talk about the one you did with Nightmare. How did you guys get together?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we were just kind of noticing each other through, interacting socially on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just, kind of liking each other's posts, and
mm-hmm.
it just really started as a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I happened to check out his music one day, and I was like, wow, this is some really cool stuff. And, messaged him, and we had a nice conversation. And I will say it's kind of bizarre how well that collaboration worked, just because it is really epic, and I wasn't really prepared for it to be that epic.
You didn't believe in yourself for it to be that epic.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's really good.
The first time I was listening to like the final mix, I was just like, whoa, I can't believe I was a part of that. This is really cool.
Fucking right. Yeah. That's awesome. Are you guys going to do more stuff in the future?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, lately, that's all I've been focused on is collaborating.
Okay.
I've been finding some really amazing artists out there, and basically I don't really set any expectations with it.
Okay.
It's just like, you want to make music, and then we do. And that method has really worked out. I'm making a song with an R&B singer named Terry Blade, and I think I sent that one over.
You did send that over. That is fantastic. That one doesn't come out yet, though. That one's not out till it's not out for a little bit yet, right?
That one comes out on the 15th.
Next week. Yeah, next week.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty cool. He has a really unique voice, and
that's where did you find him?
Same place, Twitter. I think Twitter's it's the place to connect for indie artists.
I agree with you 100%. I found my own musical project on Twitter too, so I get it big time. It's called Dark Matter Will Flow, and we got four countries. So I'm in Canada. We got the bass and guitar from the States, the main guy in Finland, and buddy in the UK doing the drums and stuff. So you can do fucking anything with Twitter and a little bit of home equipment.
That's true, and especially when Canada's involved. There seems to be a lot of really good indie artists from Canada.
There's a lot of great indie artists from every corner of the world, really, though, that nobody would be exposed to without Twitter. I don't think. Like, once you're plugged into that whole indie community on Twitter, you're gonna hear shit like you've never heard in your life, and it's so fucking cool. I'm lucky to be a part of it for sure, man. I consider myself pretty fucking lucky. Some of the stuff I get emailed to me that I get the chance to hear or help play or whatever, that's awesome. When can I play that song with Terry? Because I have 2 radio shows I do, and I will play it if you'll let me.
You can go ahead and play it anytime.
Playing it tonight. There you go.
Yeah, play it anytime. I'm sure. The more people hear it, the better. So.
Okay, I'll play it tonight.
And then the Nightmare song comes out on the 20th or the 22nd.
Okay,
it's coming up too.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been having so much fun collaborating though. I think I think it's helped me to grow as an artist as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with an artist called With Every Passing Breath. Dude is just so down to earth, and like sometimes you'll meet someone, you'll just interact with them, and you just like instantly, you feel like you're really good friends with them. Have you ever had that?
Totally. Yeah.
That's what it's been like with me and him.
That's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, I was telling him, I was like, I think we could just make a whole album together sometime.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. That's fun. Fuck yeah, man. That's cool. So when you were growing up, you're making your space dinosaur songs. Who who were some of your influences, your earliest memories of music?
let's see. When I was really young, I listened to Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul.
Mhm.
I was really into that,
The pop 80s pop-ish or whatever. I guess Janet Jackson. But
yeah, and I used to love to watch those like breakdancing movies. And I grew up in a pretty restricted family as far as like what I was allowed to listen to for the rest of my childhood.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to hear much rock music until I was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
And then I was a rebel, and I snuck out to the mall once, and I bought this little $7 Ryko disc. They were like the green colored discs.
Yeah.
And it was David Bowie, the
Nice.
Ziggy Stardust album. And I had been listening to like gospel and classical music, and that's all I was allowed to listen to. So then all of a sudden to hear that album was like this, it was like this sonic trip, man. I was like, what is he doing?
Holy shit. How is your brain still fucking intact to go from here? And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with classical or gospel music. That's fine. But if I could imagine, like, just specifically and solely listening to that for, like you said, for most of your formative years, and then you go to the store and pick up fucking David. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think even in some ways I'm kind of thankful for that experience, because even today I get really excited about some music. So whereas most people will be like, oh, it's just that song on the radio again. I'm like, yes, I love this song.
Totally. Well, you have a whole different appreciation for it. Oh, these other bashers have been listening to this stuff their whole life. You're like, I've never heard this song before. This is fucking great. It's like, dude, I heard that song 10,000 times. It's Iron Maiden. Who gives a shit? But it's like, well, your first time hearing Iron Maiden, it's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, that's cool. I like that. That's a good story. Who are some of the guys you're listening to now? You can pick indie or mainstream, whatever you want.
Oh man. I mean, for indie, there's so many.
Yeah.
That's been one of the coolest things. I think in the past couple of years, especially in the past year, I've really become kind of entrenched in the indie community, and I've made some amazing friends. And some of the artists that I've heard, I'm like, how are these people not famous? I don't understand.
I think that probably every day, every day, for sure.
Yeah, I listened to there's a band called Ditsia Yella out of the UK.
Yeah.
They do like electronic noise music.
Okay.
Yeah, they are absolutely amazing. And I also really like Cellophane Riot.
Cellophane Riot is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they're great. But I try to be a little open, I have the things I like, but sometimes I also like things that other people like. So like my friend recently put on a Sam Smith album, and he's a fairly popular pop singer.
Yeah.
And I really actually enjoyed it quite a lot.
He did that fucking his big song, wasn't that Stay With Me or whatever it was?
Yes.
Sam Smith. Yeah, that was a good tune. He's a good singer for sure. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of people who can, sing that well, and it's usually, in the R&B genre.
Mm-hmm.
There's some rock acts that can really knock it out of the park, but I think for me, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I think of myself as like a very amateur singer, but I really enjoy it. So
that's all that matters, man. As long as you enjoy it, that's literally all that matters.
And I have to give a shout out to Adam Lambert, because I actually learned earlier today that he has the most insane fan base. They're oh my gosh. If you mention Adam Lambert, you will get hundreds and hundreds of interactions. It's insane.
Really?
That he has the most loyal fan base I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. He's a hell of a singer too. He's not one of those guys.
Yeah. He is. Yeah. And I mean, I love his kind of fearless personality. I think he actually has a lot in common with Bowie.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to have that if you're going to replace Freddie Mercury, I think.
Right.
And he's got it, right? Like that was such a. I remember when they announced that they were going to tour with him, and there was like, I'd say a lot of mixed emotions, because obviously it's like, well, that dude, like, how can you replace Freddie Mercury with anybody? And that's nothing against Adam Lambert. That's like trying to replace Bowie with someone else, right? You can't do that. But I'd say they made a pretty fucking good pick, because he went out there. Imagine that feeling. You're like, I'm gonna sing for, like, replace one of the most iconic frontmen in music history, and I'm gonna have to like try to win over all these fans and everything like that. I would not have wanted to be in his shoes, but I think he fucking owned it big time.
He did. Yeah. And I think there's a song by Cher called Believe that I am not a fan of.
Yeah.
And I never it's one of those songs that every time it comes on I just kind of cringe. Yeah. But he actually did a version of that.
Oh, did
and he did, and it was profound. It was so beautiful, and it like brought tears to my eyes, and I was like, I cannot believe I am saying this, but that's actually a good song. I didn't realize that.
Sweet. So, I'll have to look that up. I'd love to check that. Was it like a completely different reimagining of that song? Like, is it a dark version?
A little bit, yeah. It's a more empty version.
See, I love that. I love when musicians cover like happy songs that make them so fucking depressing. like that. Well, I guess that song Mad World, that, who the fuck was it? Tears for Fears or Hall & Oates or some shit like that did it originally. And then that Gary Jules covered it. And it wasn't like, it was just more stripped down. So like you said, like an emptier version, and it was just so much better than the original. I love that. I love that. That's cool. That's the ticket. You got to cover a fucking, just pick someone and do your thing instead.
You know, I've tried doing cover songs myself, and I always wind up not releasing them.
Like who'd you cover?
Oh, man. I've recorded versions of Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley, Amazing Grace, man, 5 Years by David Bowie. I did a couple Nirvana tracks, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, you know, who am I kidding here? Like, if I was to release them, there'd probably be a handful of people who'd be like, man, this is pretty cool, but you know, I don't want to try to compete with the legends, really. So
I'd listen to the Jeff Buckley one. I love that song. Yeah. And I love the Leonard Cohen version too. I was a big Cohen fan.
Yeah, I think that song is it's a very powerful song, and it's like when I recorded it, it was like a really lonely, dark moment in my own life. So I think there's even like a little bit of crying in the recording. So, you know, I think that song, someone played it live, and I saw it once, and it really touched me too. So there's some songs like that are just, you know, timeless, and everybody loves them. So
yeah, and I think there's, and even if it's not like on a mass scale, like everybody will have a couple of songs that even if you listen to them and it's been 10, 15 years and you hear it again, you're like, oh, it takes you right back to the first time you fucking heard it. There's a lot of shit like that for me.
Something that I personally would rather do is like play. I'd rather like to cover a song where people would hear it and be like, what the hell is this? Like, as an example, I'd love to cover Cyanide Breath Mint by Beck. I think that's a brilliant song, and more people should hear that. So, like, if it was a song like that, I could see myself doing
it. Yeah, that's fine. You're not gonna jump at like Britney Spears' "Baby One More Time" or anything like that. It'll be
it.
That's funny. That's awesome, man. That's cool. Well, how have you been faring through this whole pandemic shit? You doing okay?
Oh, thank you for asking. I mean, it's been pretty nuts. I mean, I don't know how things are in Canada.
It's not good, bro. Not good.
Yeah, here in the States, it's been pretty nuts. I mean, it's kind of changed our whole way of life, and it's kind of brought people's ignorance and stupidity to the forefront.
Here too.
It's a little unreal at times, but there's also been a lot of good that has come out of it. I think I heard one time when I was listening to a radio show, someone was talking about how there's good things even in all the bad things in life, and you just have to look for those, and then you'll be okay. And sometimes it's really hard to see those things, but you know, they're there if you look.
Yeah,
I can't think of an example, but I assume they're there. No.
Yeah, it's getting I don't know. It's just wild. The UK has been taking it pretty hard too, though. They're always on lockdown, it seems. I don't think they'll lock down the States again, really. Unless, I know because they do it state by state, right? You guys have your different fucking lawmakers per state or governors or whatever, this and that. And even up here in Canada, we'll have like one per province is it's like a provincial leader can say, hey, we'll do this and that. And the federal government can say, fuck you, you got to do this. And they'll say, nope, not doing it. So, it's kind of the same fucking thing.
I do think, for people like me who are kind of introverted by nature, I think the pandemic has in some ways been kind of a blessing. Because it's like, hey, I get to do all the stuff I like. I get to sit at home and eat ice cream and wear sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. Not go outside. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Like, oh no, I can't go outside and see anyone. That's horrible.
Guess I'll just tell all my friends I'm not hanging out. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it is kind of. There's a little bit on the other side too. So like, there's a lot of things that I miss that I never thought I would.
Yeah.
Like, actually going to work, actually going to the house. Like, you can take things like that for granted. And after having a year of vacation, what this felt like really, I'm like, I can't wait to get back to work. So.
Yeah, for sure. I guess if you're able to work remotely, that's pretty good though. A lot of people can't. A lot of people got fucked over. We got lucky. My wife's able to work remotely, so we're fine. But a lot of people weren't. But exactly, like I guess I miss simple shit too. Like I miss going into a store and not worrying about who's fucking breathing on me, shit like that. We were always doing like the curbside pickup at the grocery store. And so they just throw it in the car and away you go. That's fine. Perfect. Works for me anyways. I fucking hate people. I'm an introvert as well. So that's fine. But the one day I think it was Christmas Eve, I actually went into the store for the first time since like last March, and it was just fucking crazy. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was such a weird mind fuck for me. I had to like put my mask on and go traipse through all these aisles and watch the arrows and watch for people. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, I should have just
went to curbside. I just thought of an example. So, since you just mentioned masks, so like wearing those masks is, kind of annoying and dumb. And sometimes exactly. Like nobody likes it.
Yeah, but you do.
But I will say this, there's two reasons I do like it. number one, it definitely aids in my, helping my social anxiety. Because, every time I go out, I'm like, am I really out of the house? Can people really see me? I don't think.
Not with this mask on.
Right. I'm invisible. Also, it really helps with allergies. So
hey, positive.
it's a win-win.
There you go. Looking on the bright side. There it is right there. Absolutely.
There is a bright side. Yeah.
It totally helps with social anxiety.
It does.
Yeah. It's like, nope, got my fucking cloak on, put the hood up, and away you go. Can't see me, fucker. Yeah. It works good. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll get through it eventually one day. Who the fuck knows? Then there's people saying, oh, you just got to get out there and get back to normal. It's like, well, what the fuck is normal anymore? Everything's gone to shit. Everything's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Good God.
I think I'm hoping that, as far as the indie music scene, I hope it gets more attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that more people out there will consider listening to indie music.
Yeah, me too.
And I think there's so many popular artists. I won't mention any because I don't want to, start any.
It's not about them. Fuck you. Yeah. You don't need the help.
It's kind of shocking to me when you see these artists that are like multimillionaires dropping multiple albums, in a year where there's a pandemic, and there's thousands and thousands of musicians and recording crew, stage crew who are literally starving, and they don't have any income. So that just doesn't make sense to me.
No, you know what? And it's exactly like people can sit there and think whatever, like, yeah, the big guys at the top, they're fine. But what about the guy doing sound at the bar? Or what about the guy that like has the bar to put your ass in there to play for people? He's fucked. His family's fucked. The light guy's fucked. The janitor's fucked. It all rolls down all the way downhill. But the big guys are fine. Don't worry about Beyonce. She's fine. Or whoever, right? Like, it's sad. I was talking to a gentleman this morning, and he's in the UK. He's got a great band called My Little Brother. They're fucking awesome. And we were talking about how in the UK, like, they had the fucking Beatles, man. Like, that's huge. That's a massive export. But they don't give a shit about their music. You know what I mean? I think that's something that music is such a universal thing that there should be something for people that are like career musicians or identify that as their career, that if they can't tour, if they can't even go out and play shows or festivals or whatever, that they should be getting something back to help pad their pockets a little bit, even bare minimum, like fucking minimum wage, even something, but they got nothing. It's like, you're a musician, fuck you, and that's bullshit to me. That's bullshit. Should be something like, and same in the States, same in Canada. Like, there's got to be something to help these venues that aren't going to be here when shit opens up, when shit is back to normal and people can go to shows and stuff again. There's going to be nowhere left for them to go to shows, and there's going to be nowhere left for bands to play. So what's going to happen? All these people that are sitting here saying they miss music so much, well, it's going to be fucking gone. Dude, you're gonna hear music on shit like this, podcasts, fucking YouTube live streams, and whatever else. I think the days of fucking Coachella are gone. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion. That would probably be fine because it's outdoors and a big festival, blah, 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 blah. But I still think at the end of the day, that people are gonna be fucking scared to go out. At least the ones that believed in the pandemic.
I had an idea about that. I once years ago went to see the Flaming Lips concert.
Did they put in the bubbles?
Yes. Yeah, there were people in bubbles, and that's always an option. I mean, we could
That's the way to go.
We could just go to concerts and everybody could be in bubbles.
I mean, I think that would be fucking awesome. You see those guys that have the bubbles on, they just fucking smash into each other like the best mosh pit of all time.
Right.
Fuck.
See?
Missing the mark. See, this is some innovative shit. You just saved the music industry. There you go.
And the plastic industry.
And the plastic industry. Yeah. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, they needed the help. Yeah. But that's true. That would be a viable option, I think. Here's your ticket, and good luck getting the ball on yourself. We're not helping you with that.
Yeah, I don't think concerts are going to go anywhere. I think, we're just having this extended break, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think music is so important, especially when you're sharing it in those intimate communal experiences where people are all coming together and sharing it. It's a much bigger experience, than just hearing something on your stereo at home. It's very different. I know, like, the best concert experience of my life was when I saw Garbage.
Okay.
And like, Garbage is a great band, but I was outside at this it was like a baseball stadium that they were playing in, and it started raining as they were playing Only Happy When It Rains. And I was like, you know what? This is the coolest moment.
That's
right
pretty
now.
cool. That's pretty
So
cool.
you can't make that stuff up. I mean, so I hope that people will always remember how great music shows were and try to replicate that. And
I think yeah, for sure, you're right. People will remember that and they'll carry that in their hearts and everything like that. But what I'm worried about is the people that need the funding to keep these spaces open for people to go do that.
Right.
That's what I'm worried about.
That is a problem. I think that needs more attention for sure.
Yeah. Like, I know they're trying to do. There's all sorts of movements and things trying to be passed in legislature and things like that. But something's going to actually happen, because that's a whole other thing that people need to be looking at. I think, obviously take care of everybody if you can, but like, you got to fucking look at the dudes that are entertaining your asses. I don't think I would have got through this fucking pandemic without music. Talking to musicians all the time. I made some great connections on here. Talking to people, made some good friendships. I think if I wouldn't have had Twitter, and I wouldn't have met some of the musicians I met and heard some of their music, I don't know what the fuck would have happened. A pretty depressing ass fucking time.
It has, yeah. I mean, in some ways, I think it saved my life. So I completely agree with what you're saying there. I do think, I think everybody kind of wants somebody else to fix the problem, and we're all just kind of waiting. But I think one thing that I've noticed is there's a lot of like ingenuity and community-based awareness raising, and I've seen artists kind of build each other up. So maybe we could have something kind of like Bandcamp, but for stage musicians and people like that, where people can let us know, like, what they did and like what they do for a living, what they'd like to continue to do, and like what they bring to the table, and then we can help support them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a ton of people be looking for something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
See, I'm an ideas man, as you can tell.
That's good. No, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a fucking good idea. Absolutely. I'm sure somebody will get behind that when they hear this. Hopefully, there's people with more money out there to fund an idea like that than you or I have. So.
Sure.
We can make the idea, man, but what we need is some backing. That's fine. I've got the best ideas in the world, but don't got any fucking money to make them happen. Well, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Jack. Why don't you take the last couple of minutes here? Just tell us where we can find your stuff online. If you got any merch for sale, that sort of thing. How we can help you through this wild bullshit year that's carried over into 2021. By the way,
I hope not. I hope 2021 is just beautiful.
You're off to a good fucking start down there, buddy. Holy shit! I saw that. I saw those fucking protesters. Good God. Good God, that's wild. What is happening?
It was a
and I'll
crazy
talk
day.
about it. I don't mind talking political shit on here. That's fine. I'll fucking talk politics all day. Give a fuck. So, well, we get enough of that. It's like, that's fine, but people can fucking talk about whatever they want. So,
I try to avoid that, but I think, just kind of turning on the news randomly, I was like, what in the world is going on today?
Yeah, I was checking my Twitter feed. I was like, pardon? What is this now? and they're all alive. Not one person got shot. Pretty good. You know, I would have thought they would all have been fucking shot. I don't know. You think if you invade the fucking, if it was Canada, they would have had the National Guard there, or whatever, the reserves, or whatever the fuck we got right then and there. Say, oh, Parliament's under attack. Good God, help. You know, not like, yeah, they're fine. Let them in, fuck it, that's fine.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even really pretend to be smart enough to know anything about anything. That's one of the reasons I don't. I try to avoid making any political statements because I really don't consider myself an expert on anything. I think the only thing I'm an expert on is I seem to be drawn to really good musicians, and sometimes I'm fortunate enough to get them to work with me. So that's
there you go. That's a fucking talent in itself.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
My music is on all the the streaming platforms like Spotify and Tidal, all that stuff. I'm kind of getting old. I'm about to turn 39, so I'm not really good with like the TikTok and the YouTube and that.
Yeah. See, there's a cutoff age. Because I'm 36 and I won't fucking touch TikTok. I will not. I think if you're 25, 14 to 24, I think is the cutoff. You know, and people say get on TikTok for the podcast. I'm like, I'd rather die. I'm not going on TikTok. That's too weird for me. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't get it. I did recently discover Bandcamp, and
Bandcamp's tight.
It seems like a really cool platform. I don't have any merchandise or any of that cool stuff yet. Hopefully soon, but I really like that you make more money on there. That's cool. I also like yeah, you definitely do make more money. And there's a really cool community on there of people.
Yeah.
They seem I don't know, they just seem more interactive than on most other platforms in my opinion.
100%. And I like what they do now. I don't know how many months they're doing it for now, but they have like that one day a month where they waive all their fees. So 100% of the profits goes to artists that make any sales on there. So you should load some shit up on there, bud. Doesn't cost you nothing. Worst case, you sell something, they keep $3. You sell something for 10, you're walking out with 7. Not too bad. That's like 10 billion streams on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm trying a different strategy with my Bandcamp. I'm trying to just put my weird stuff on there.
Nice. Don't like it. There's a fucking market for that.
People like
weird shit. I do too.
I've been going through and I have all sorts of weird B-sides and stuff I never finished or never. And I'm like, I'm just putting on Bandcamp. Why not?
I've done that. It's awesome. Demos, whatever, anything that sounds like total fucking just like this would never make the album because it's so bad. It's going on Bandcamp. People fucking buy it. Put it for $1. You're laughing. That's the way to do it. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much again, Jack, for taking the time. We booked this more than a month ago, so thank you for saving the date. I know shit can come up, but we made it happen.
This is actually my first interview, so.
Well, you did well. It won't be your last now. Now the fucking floodgates will open. Check out the Talking Tears everywhere you guys can, for sure. It's awesome. It's great music, for sure. And you're a good dude, so there you go, buddy.
It's been a pleasure to meet you and talk with you.
Well, we'll stay in touch, my friend. You have a good night, all right? Stay safe.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.